welcome along to the Christmas Craft Along 2024. Welcome. We're going to be making some awesome Christmas cards this week. Today is Monday, day one, and we're kicking things off with this light tangle birthday card, Christmas card. Right, let me just get over my initial and just check that we've got everything set up correctly. Hopefully you can hear me. If you're watching along live, it should be coming from my YouTube channel. I'm just waiting for, I've got the screen in front of me and it always has a bit of a time delay, but it hasn't kick-started yet, but I just want to make sure that it's going. There's a reason why I can't watch that. And if you are watching along live, if you want to say hello in the comments, that chat function, I think, let me try and come out of this and start again. And then we'll get started. Down. Wonderful. Okay, for some reason it didn't want to click in, but it is worked now. So I can see the chat function on the screen in front of me. So if you've got any questions during it, if I spot them, I can answer them while we're live in the workshop. But if you've got any questions afterwards, feel free to add them to the comments below and I'll get back to you, or you can reach out to me on my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I just search for Della by Design and you'll find me on there. So, I just realised they're all flipped over. Shall I put these back over? They're hiding. So today we're making the light tangle bag card. Let me just make sure I've got this all set up. So we're going to make the white version of the light tangle bag. Why do I think it's a tangle bag? A light tangle card. And for this, if you've got the craft along kit, then you've got a bundle labelled up as Monday. This is day one. So you can go ahead and unwrap that. What we'll be doing today is making it from the advanced version. If you've got the beginner's version, you'll have all these pieces already cut out and prepped for you. And you can go make a cup of tea and relax while we get this catch up with what you've got. Or if you've got the expert kit, if you've seen my cutting and stamping guide, what you need to prep for this kit, if you want to pause the video and come back to this. So let me put this on here. So we've got the black mount is 2.75 inches by 2.75 inches, it's a square, and then the light tangle is on a piece of white card, 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. And then you need to stamp out 3 red, 2 yellow, 2 blue and 2 green, and the merry and bright. And the merry and bright doesn't matter what size you have, because there's no mount or anything, so it's up to you. And we have 9 white bulbs as well, which will come on to how we're using those. So just as a to let you know, all these images and stamps are made using the Playful Penguins set. So this is the stamp set we're going to be using all week. So we've got 5 new designs. So no penguins on this one, but we have got the lights. The penguins are coming soon, don't worry. So we've got the swirl we're using today, and the little light bulb, and the merry and bright greeting. So if you've got the craft along kits, that is a special event we do every year, or twice a year now. So we've got the summer craft along and the Christmas craft along, where we make 5 designs across the week, and you can order the kit, which has one of each design prepped and ready for you to unwrap and make each day. This design is also available as individual kits as well. Let me just show you those. So that it comes as the advanced kit or as the beginner's kit in either colour option. So the advanced kit has, like we got today, all the bits and pieces stamped and ready to cut out and put together. And then the beginner's kit has all the bits and pieces prepped for you. So you've got all the bulbs cut out and the screw caps, I think we're going to call them, attached to the bulbs as well. So all the sort of the really fiddly bits are done for you. So that's a nice, easy one. Quick and easy results with that one. So let's get started, shall we? So in your kit you'll have a white card blank with my logo on the back. It's blank inside, so you can add your own message. We've got the white envelope, and the craft one comes with craft coloured envelope as well. So this is what I refer to as craft. It's you probably can't hear the K when I say it, but it's craft with a K, and it's the recycled craft card. So it's got quite a nice bit of texture to it, and there's sort of hints of other cards that have been recycled and made into it. So it's quite nice. It gives it like a really rustic feel at Christmas time, which is really cosy. But today we're going to be making the white, sort of the really bright, fresh one. So we can move those out of the way. And let's say these are all the bits you have. So we've got some cutting out to do today, but we have a choice. So it's up to you. We can either I'm going to do the cutting out, but you can either cut out all the coloured bulbs like I'm just about to do, and then cut out just the white screw tops, caps for these bulbs. So they are quite small, quite fiddly, full disclaimer. It doesn't bother me, but if it does bother you, then the alternative option is to colour in these bulbs and then cut out the whole bulb, as it were. So then you could have different colours, you could have them all yellow or all red, it's up to you. So that's your choice to start off with, if you want to cut them out, or we're going to do the coloured ones. So we're going to go and cut out the colours. So I've got a nice small pair of sharp scissors. I've got this. I grabbed this bit of tin foil on my way over just I want to show you this nice tip. So if you've got scissors and they're not quite sharp enough, you just use a bit of tin foil and then just use it to sharpen it. Just cut lots of little dashes and you'll find it will just sharpen up those blades. So I do it relatively regularly when I remember. So that's, yeah, it already feels different. And that's a good, it also works for guillotines as well. Oh, I realised I got the light on the wrong side of me. That's a shame. I might change the setup tomorrow. But you can see that the light is, the scissors are forming a shadow where I'm actually cutting. So I might have a different setup tomorrow with the light not over on that side. But let's see. So when we're cutting out these bulbs, let's see. Here's a look. The basically we're going to be sticking over the screw cap on the end. I don't know why I'm struggling with words today. So we're going to be covering up, so it doesn't actually matter if it's cut out exactly. And what I am going to do is just cut off that end bit. So don't worry about following the lines or anything for this bit. You just want to leave a chunk of it so you can glue to it. But other than that, you don't need. But for the bulb itself, you want to cut around the outside of that black line. No, I wasn't paying attention when I did, so I did actually cut out that side. So just cut that off and I'll show you. can see I've just cut off the rough edges around the top because we don't need to worry about that. I'm just going to neaten up that bit there. Probably shouldn't smooth the card out of the way, otherwise I'm going to cover it with these rubbish bits of card. So that's one. So we've got 9 to go. Up to you if you want to do more or less. Actually, you've got the stamps. I wonder if I might try and move that light now, actually, because I'm finding it. I want to have that light. Turn it there, see if that helps. Yeah. There we go. So if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know that we do work at a nice relaxed pace. The idea of these videos is that you can pick up the kit and make the card along with me. You're not trying to pause the video or rewind it to catch bits. It's all done at a nice relaxed pace. I generally find, I think from feedback, is that because I'm chatting while I'm doing things, people end up working quicker than I do. So if you are, you can take the opportunity to make a cup of tea, relax, or you can add extra bits to your designs, and do let me know what you add, because I keep the kits relatively straightforward. They do range, but if you wanted to add like a highlight on these bulbs with a white pen, or you can add glossy accents across the bulbs to give them that sort of domed glass effect. Yeah, there's lots of options. Like I say, you could add lots more bulbs. You have bulbs coming in from around the edge of the card. Hopefully just going to spark off some inspirational ideas for you, and you can, once you've mastered making the card as it is, you can then move on to some other ideas. And a matching gift tag. Oh, that'd be nice. But you can use the mini, so the stamp set have got some more lights on there. It's got the large light, which we will be using later on this week. Let me just show that to you. So it's got the large light bulb here, which we will be using. This one that we're using today, it also has this glow stamp as well, which fits around it. So you can have, say if you've got a blue bulb, you could then stamp those lines in a blue ink to give that impression that it's giving off. It's a lovely blue light. And then there are this little mini light tangle here, or the very organised string of lights across the top. So you could add those string of lights and colour them in. I wouldn't suggest cutting those out, they're tiny. You can stamp them directly onto a card, like around the top of the card, and colour them in. They look quite nice. I want to have a little, hoping to get some time this week, because I've got, when I do this craft along, I've booked the whole week off work. So this isn't I have a part-time job as well as designing new stamps. And yes, so I'm kind of indulging in a lovely week of crafting. So I'm hoping to get a chance to have a play and make some different things with these. But yes, do let me know what other ideas spring to mind that you might like me to try. If you haven't got time to try them out yourself, let me know and I can experiment for you. Or if you create something and you want to share me a picture, you can do so by either posting it on Facebook and tagging me, or Instagram if you tag me at Della by Design, or you can email the image to me. I've got some yellow bulbs here somewhere, or you can email them to me. So my email address is Della, which is DELLA at dellabydesign.co.uk. So if you are colouring in your bulbs, you've been nearly finished by now. you're cutting out. So you colour in the bulbs on the white and then cut around the bulb and the screw cap at the same time. So you wouldn't do this rough cut like we're doing at the moment. What am I doing now? Very cute little lights. Okay. Get a very pretty scraps of this one. And then onto these screw caps. So I know that I'm cutting these off. So again, it might feel a bit of a waste if you, obviously in the advanced kit I include these so that you've got the choice. But if you're stamping these with the expert kit or just with the stamps, then feel free just to stamp the skull cap just onto the edge of a piece of card. You don't need to waste the rest of it. So I'm going to cut these. So there is a slight sort of wiggle to the edge of the skull. It does go like in and around it. You can either cut it straight, well, I kind of do a wobbly line cut, so I don't try and follow it exactly, but I do try to add a little bit of movement to it. I'll put that and I'll be careful not to lose these bits. So they are fiddly to cut out, so this is we've got the option of just colouring them. I will get that. So generally, if you I really enjoy fuzzy cutting. I find it's kind of my crafting switch off, because I've never mastered knitting or crochet. I have done cross stitch in the past, and I have an unfinished cross stitch to prove it. Still not done. But it's that kind of like the crafting that's mindless. You don't need to make any decisions. You don't need to think about it. You're just, once you're in the flow, you just find that state and you can just keep going and going. So that's what my cutting out is for me. I generally have a little box of stuff that I need to cut out, that I sort of build up during the day, and then in the evening I'll grab the box and my scissors and I'll curl off on the sofa and just sort of half watch, half listen to TV programs whilst cutting out normally Christmas stuff, but lots of lovely bits. And so actually that's why, so the new stamps that I'm designing each year, you'll notice it comes off as quite a cartoony kind of children's illustration, maybe, but the actual design is, the intention is so that it can be easily cut out. So there's no so everything has like a bold line around the outside. There's not many stamps that are intended just to stamp onto the card blank, if that makes sense. So they are expecting to be cut out. So we'll be cutting out some penguins this week, cutting around the snowflakes, I guess that's the exception. And then the bulbs and the igloos. So yes, we've got the new light up igloo card. So we're not making that until Thursday this week, but that uses LED lights built into the front of the card, so that all the wires and everything's hidden away, and you can turn them on and light up the Christmas lights on the igloo, which is very cute. 4 more of these to go. So if you're watching along on the replay, do say hello in the comments, whether it's in the middle of a heat wave in the summer or just before Christmas, just after Christmas, and you stumble across, just do feel free to say hello. I'll just check the chat. Haven't missed any questions on there. No. Awesome. I've picked quite a simple card to start us off this week. Plus the fact, so we should be, I think it'll be done within the hour. And that was deliberate to give myself, because on Monday is my non-working day at my office job, so it means that I'm doing the school run this afternoon. So I've saved the light up igloo card for Thursday, because that's when my son's at after school club. Not saying it's going to take us 2 hours to do it, but I don't want to be clock watching. It will take a little bit longer to make. Go, and the last one. And if you're watching along live, and give me a wave or a hello in the chat. I know a few of you have contacted me and said that you'll be watching on catch up this week on the replays. Which is not a problem. As soon as this live broadcast is finished, it will get uploaded as a video and stay on my channel, so you can catch up whenever you need. I see the little lump of blue tack under this craft mat, so I've got a little bit of a wobble on it. Put it under here. That's it. A crafter's version of the wobbly pub table. So there so you can still see that. Oh, I didn't bring I didn't move or bring a bin close to me, so I'm just going to have to make a little pile of rubbish on the end here. Right. So the next step is we're going to glue these onto the bulbs. I'm just going to line them up so I've got them the right way. So for this I'm going to use glossy accents, which, like I say every time, it isn't actually as a glue, but it works very well as a glue. So you might have tacky glue or craft glue, anything strong and a wet glue is useful for this. The glossy accents is very handy because it's very strong as a glue. It has a very fine tip to get accurate use, and it doesn't dry straight away, it doesn't set straight away, so you've got a little bit of wriggle room to move things and get them just right. So what I'm going to do is, rather than trying to add glue to the little white bits and dropping them on, what I'm going to do is add glue to the bulb, and that's because, one, it's going to be a lot easier, but it's possible because because of the image, you know exactly where you're going to be gluing, so you know exactly where the glue's going to go. So I wouldn't recommend this if it's if you couldn't tell exactly, like, so there was a risk of putting the glue elsewhere. So, I was going to do a handful. I did end up doing 6. 6 is a bit more than a handful. So like I say, the glue doesn't set straight away, so we've got a little bit of time. But 6 is ambitious, so I'm just going to concentrate on this one. So I'm using this pokey tool. There's a tonic pokey tool, so it's just like a sharp point on the end. It's just going to help me move things into position, but I'm just going to use my fingers and drop these on just roughly to start with. So I'm not going to squash them down because, like I said, the glue takes a while to set, and so it's quite liquidy still. So if you push it down, it will spread. So I'm just going to gently drop each one onto there, just going to move that into position. But I'm not putting any pressure downwards yet. And one more. And by the time I've done that, I should be able to go back to the start and start positioning them. Okay. You can see. So I could do an automatic zoom function to. So I've got lots of glue coming out the side there. Just clean that up. This is the glue setting. I'm just able to push that down. It does, it's completely clear, this glue as well, so any mishaps are easily to wipe away and not noticeable. That one's stuck a little bit more. Race against time. Line them up. Wonderful. So that's those 6 done. And now I'll do these 3. I'll have the opposite problem with these because we'll need to wait for these the glue to set before I can move them. Let me just show you close up. The delay on the so I log on to an iPad and watch the video, but the delay is quite a long delay, so I have to hold this here before I can wait until I can see whether that's in focus. can see that I'll get a slightly better angle in the light. So just a little blob of glue on the top, and I'm going to drop these on. The poker tool's handy when you're sort of feeling a bit finger and thumbed. It's a bit too big. Yeah, poker tool comes in handy. The glue's still quite wet, so they're moving quite a lot. That one's not now. That one's alright. These two a bit more wobbly. There we go. So let me just show these a bit close up. We've got all of these beautiful lights. They're so cute. So you can do the same technique with the larger ones. You can even make like a garland to go up in your room. So if I just hold those, you can see. So this is how they come in the beginner's kit. So if you want to leapfrog to this stage, you can. But they are very cute. So next, let's add some foam pads to the back of these. So we get these prepped up. So in your kits, you'll find some foam pads. It's like a 3D foam, so it's sticky on both sides and has a thin bit of foam in the middle, so you can lift things up, so you get that sort of 3D effect. So if you are looking to post the card, so if you're in the UK, if you're using Royal Mail, or I'm assuming everywhere is similar, you just need to check what the limitations are, because I think you pay a little bit more for the thickness of the card, so you need to check that. So if you do want to save on stamps of it, you can just stick these down flat, but we're going to raise them up. So I'm going to cut these come in oblongs and a bit too big, so we're going to cut them down off the right size. I have a different pair of scissors. These are affectionately known as my sticky scissors. Basically they were once beautiful sharp scissors, but now I use them all for these. But yes, I try and avoid using the other scissors. So if you're cutting them, keep the foam pads on the backing sheets and then cut through them, and that stops too much stickiness getting through to your scissors. How many do we? 9, don't we? So let's go this way. Longer. And 4, 4 and 1. There we go. Hopefully just test if that's the right size. If not, we can do some more. So you basically want to cover the back. You don't need to be, you just want to not go over the edge. Doesn't matter if you're quite a bit smaller, and that'll just give that raisedness. And also, what's also good about these foam pads is that the stickiness is very effective. So they're definitely held in place. So I'm just going to add one of these to the back of each one. Depending on how you've cut them, some it looks like some might be too thick, so I might avoid them. Let's have a look. I think this one might be too thick. Oh, I think that's just okay. the backing sheet just came off of this one. So I'm just going to make sure it's back on because we want to have a little play around with the positioning without them accidentally sticking. Like I say, they are very sticky, so they're difficult to remove if they accidentally get stuck down. Okay, and one more. Again, this one is quite thick. Like that's okay. And then we can add some foam to the back of the Merry and Bright, which is wider than these rectangles. So depending on, these come in all different sort of shapes and sizes, depending. I've been using different, one of my suppliers has switched to little squares and then I can't get them anymore, so we're back to oblongs. But whatever they are, you can cut them and trim them to whatever size you need. There we go. So that's all that ready. So that's all got the backing still on, so that we can play around with positioning and layering first before we commit. So let's stick the tangle onto the black mounts. So they're cut so that they give a perfect even edge on each side. So I'm going to use this tape roller, which is, it sort of dispenses double-sided tape. I call it my glue mouse. Very handy. And I'm going to glue this on here, and I'm going to aim for a nice even border on each side. And then this is stuck directly onto the front of the card. Again, aiming for the centre, but it's not as important. But what I am going to do is make sure the tangle is in the same rotation. It's the same way around. So I've got that big loop on the left. So add some glue to this. And make sure it's the right way around, and aim for the centre. Go. Let's finish that. So now let's experiment. So you're welcome to. So I've sort of positioned these colours so that you get a nice sort of spread of colours. I'm going to copy that now. You're free to experiment with your own layout, or if you're using different colours, if you've stamped out different ones, feel free to experiment. So I was saying about bring them in from the outside as well. Look quite cute. You could even draw a black line across the top and bring them in. Make some extra ones. That's very cute. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so the idea is that they all sit. So the base of each bulb is perpendicular to where the wire is. And it should create a nice sort of spread of bulbs in all different directions. With the one in the middle is so good. And the yellow one here. So again, I'm looking for the position of this to go over the edge of the frame. I think that gives it a sort of bit of visual interest to it. And red there. Oh, that one's the one that's a little bit sticky. There we go. So once you're happy with the positioning, so if you've got the kits, you can either look at my website for pictures. Obviously the kits have the picture on the front, so you can use that. So all my kits that you buy have a colour image of the of the card for you to copy. Or you can create your own. So now we're going to go through each one and peel off the back to stick them down. And we can be obviously at different angles because it's raised up. So you want to be over the where the bulb is, where the screw meets the wire. So you don't have to be too accurate because at all angles it's going to be, some are going to be floating away and some aren't. Each one. One in the middle. I don't think I've done the green one yet. All I say is I test at the end. You can pick up the card and shake it. Anything that falls off, you haven't stuck down yet. This one's floating a bit more than I'd like. There we go. And then we can finish off with the merry and bright greeting as well. Hi Jessie. Jessie on the chat. Thanks for joining us live. And add the merry bright onto the corner. I've got taken the things off, and then just going to fold it. And there's our finished card. It's nice, a sort of clean and crisp one. So you can add more around the edge if you wish. But yes, it's beautiful. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. If you've watched live, or if you're watching the replay, do say hello in the chats, and I'll say hi back. So thank you ever so much for joining me. So if you've made the white version or the craft and you want to share your pictures of your finished cards, please do get in touch. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Della by Design, or you can email me if you prefer. My email address is della@dellabydesign.co.uk. Happy to hear from you. So happy crafting, everyone, and Merry Christmas. Bye bye.